Goblin Mine. High-level aliens. I'm afraid things are not as simple as she said, but it seems good to watch some fun. The next morning I yawned and came to the gate of the college. Tsukinji's team has arrived. Besides her, there are 3 other people. One is from our practical class, Instructor Zhang Chong from the B-level intensive department. It seems that the academy also sent a mentor to lead the team during this mission. The other 2 students are a boy and a girl. The man's name is Chen Yu. His B-level ability is Solid Fruit. Can harden the body. The woman's name is Lin Wei. She is a C-level person with rare healing abilities. This configuration can be regarded as the top configuration among freshmen. Instructor Zhang Chong was obviously quite polite to Tsukinji. Now that classmates Su and everyone are here, we can set off. Tsukinji said lightly, "Wait for one more person." Just then they saw me walking slowly towards me. Chen Yu frowned and said displeased, "Lin Mo, Kinji, why did you ask him to come? A D class will only hold you back." Chen Yu is obviously interested in Tsukinji. Look at me being fucked by Tsukinji. Invite in person, people full of hostility. Lin Wei also whispered to Tsukinji, "Kinji, although Lin Mo's performance was amazing before, after all, it's too dangerous to go to the Goblin Mine if you're only D level." Instructor Zhang Chong had a look on his face. He looked at me complicatedly and said nothing. Tsukinji said in a tone that left no room for doubt, "If I ask him to come, it will naturally be of use to me. Okay, everyone is here and let's go." After saying that, she was the first to board the off-road vehicle heading to the mine. Chen Yu glared at me fiercely and followed me. I shrugged nonchalantly and found a seat by the window to sit down. A pleasant outing begins. Off-road vehicle on rough mountain road. After 2 hours of bumpy ride, we finally arrived at our destination. Goblin Mine. The dark entrance to the mine. A mouth of a giant beast that chooses and devours people. There is a constant cold wind blowing from inside. It came out with an unpleasant fishy smell. Instructor Zhang Chong entered as soon as he got off the car. Combat status. Draw a huge battle axe from behind. Walk at the front of the line. Everyone be alert. Tsukinji followed closely. Surrounded by a faint cold air, Chen Yu hardened his arms to protect him. Tsukinji looks like a loyal knight. Lin Wei took out her healing staff and followed nervously at the end. And I was walking at the end of the team with my hands in, looking around in my pocket like a tourist. Chen Yu looked back at me. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. "Hey D-class, you better keep up. If you get dragged away by goblins, we won't have time to save you." I responded and continued my sightseeing. After entering the mine, the light dimmed instantly. Twitter! A shrill scream rang out in the darkness. Several green-skinned short goblins. Wielding a simple stone spear, he jumped out of the shadows. Instructor Zhang Chong, who was walking at the front, roared angrily, seeking death. The battle axe in his hand brought up a gust of wind, instantly split those goblins in half. Blood and minced flesh splattered all over the floor. Lin Wei was so frightened that her face turned pale. Zhang Chong said without changing his expression, "Just the lowest level goblin sentinels moving on." The team continues to deepen. We encountered several waves of goblins along the way. The attacks were easily solved by Zhang Chong and Chen Yu. Tsukinji didn't even take action. Chen Yu said disdainfully as he punched a goblin away. Che thought it was just as powerful as this. He looked back and was still leisurely. The contempt in my eyes is even stronger. This guy was with me from start to finish. Watching the show later will be of no use. Why on earth did Kinji call him here? At this moment, Zhang, who was walking in the front, Instructor Chong suddenly stopped. He looked ahead with a solemn expression. Wait until something happens. Ahead is a huge underground cave. Hundreds of goblins are densely packed. There are also a dozen tall people among them. Goblin warrior holding a giant club. In the center of all goblins is a figure with a bone crown on his head. Goblin leaders twice as big as normal goblins, sitting on a throne made of bones. C-level boss goblin leader. Zhang Chong's face looked a little ugly. Too many. We are surrounded. A huge rock the size of a truck is facing. Tsukinji's position was smashed down with a roar. Chen Yu's eyes were about to burst. He wanted to rescue him, but was beaten by several. The goblin warrior clung to him and couldn't get away. "Kinji, be careful." Zhang Chong was also blocked by a boulder. Seeing that Tsukinji was about to be hit by a huge rock, the face of this beautiful girl from heaven is also. For the first time, he showed a panicked look. At this critical moment, together, a lazy figure suddenly appeared next to her. I sighed and raised my right hand towards the piece. The huge rock that fell was thrown out with a punch in the air at will. What a hassle! There was no earth-shattering sound, no dazzling light effects. Everyone only sees the air in front of my fist, strangely shattered like a mirror. Click! A streak of white visible to the naked eye. Cracks spread in the air. Then came the huge rock that could crush a person into a pulp. It silently turned into powder in mid-air, as if it had never existed. The whole place fell into deathly silence again. Everyone stopped moving. Both humans and goblins looked at me blankly. I took back my fist and looked at it, annoyed, shaking his hands. Oops, I used too much force. You said I can't control my strength. I turned my head and looked at it completely. The dull Tsukinji spread her hands. Are you okay? Tsukinji looked at me blankly. Those beautiful purple eyes are full of shock and confusion, and a hint of brilliance that she herself hadn't even noticed.